at the Mamma Mia Pizzeria. Hi, I'm back. I hope you guys didn't miss me too much. I know, it's been a week, but we're finally here. So I am trying something new. I am actually trying to see if... Oh, thank you. I'm actually trying to see if I can stream on Twitch, YouTube as well. So, if you do go on YouTube and you see me, that's good. That means it's working. Hopefully it's working fine. But I have no idea. But... Thank you, stop it. So, today we're mainly going to be focusing on this rifle. This is my little 300 blackout rifle. It's 4 not found. Okay, that's good. Thank you for telling me that. Let me see if I can fix that really quick. If at all. If it isn't, that kind of sucks. That means I will just have to fix that later. Oh well. Well, I guess today will just be for you guys on Twitch. That kind of sucks, but oh well. It's something that I'm trying out that's new, so I'll still need to work out the kinks on that, but... without further ado, let's actually talk about this rifle. So, first things first, this is a 300 blackout rifle. The difference between 5.56 and 300 blackout is that you have 5.56 by 45, I think is the caliber. It's more of a 22 caliber. It is actually not Katori Fried Bacon on Twitch. It is actually Sniper Bale on Twitch. If it still goes under Katori Fried Bacon, I'm actually going to be kind of sad, but who knows? Oh yeah, on YouTube. It should be the same on YouTube as it is on Twitch. Last I checked. I may be wrong though, so but anyways, so the reason why it's taking me to fucking A. Okay. I thought I changed it to Sniper Veil, but that kind of sucks. Okay. Let me leave a note of that really quick so that I know to change that after stream today. So, you're saying it takes you to Katori Fried Bacon, which means... Nope. 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 We don't want to do that. Oh my god, it's constantly wanting me to fucking go to, like... do that. Anyways, I want to know. Anywho. Thank you for letting me know about that. Need to replace with... It blanked out. It blanked out the link, but I think I should be able. Stream on YouTube is working? Oh, okay. That's interesting. The only thing I don't see with this stream on YouTube, though, is, it's not showing up chat on this left side here. So I'll definitely need to go into stream elements and fix that. But main problem I've been having with this rifle is when I've been trying to shoot it, the bullets, like, the shell either just doesn't get ejected, or it won't have enough back travel to fully pick up the next shell. So what I'm going to be looking at today for the most part is the gas key right about here. So we are actually going to be taking this whole thing apart, so we're going to try taking this off. Obviously, it looks like we'll need an Allen wrench set, which thankfully I brought my handy dandy Allen wrench set. So, how to take apart these things. To anyone in the American service about to join, like me, this is useful information to know. But fastest way, you get a screwdriver or a bullet, really doesn't matter. If you have a good rifle, you can actually just use your fingers. We're gonna look at the buffer spring. It could be a buffer spring problem, but considering it's not getting enough travel to the rear, I think it may be a gas key problem, but that's what we're gonna see today. Disassembly, pretty easy. These two little buttons on your lower receiver. Take a screwdriver or a bullet, really doesn't matter, or your fingers, right? Reason I use a screwdriver is because if you just place it there and you give it a little, just a slight little push, right? There it goes. You get your first pin, comes out, right? And this is a captive pin, right? So this pin can never fully come out. Which, if SIG actually decided to use captive pins, maybe I wouldn't have lost 2 fucking trigger retention pins on my SIG P365. However, SIG, being the infinite dumbasses they are, decided, hey, let's... That one I actually have to kind of beat. But they're like, hey, let's use a trigger retention pin that is non-captive. I'm like, that's an amazing idea. Thank you, SIG, for your infinite wisdom. Because, fucking hell, who needs a trigger retention pin that's captive? You know, the thing that, like, keeps your pistol together? Yeah, who needs that captive? Anyways, you poke those 2 pins out. There you go. This is what I mean is by its, captive pins. So, pretty much, it can't come out of that, no matter how hard I try, right? So these 2 pins stay. At all times. So we have that. And then taking your bolt and your charging handle out is pretty easy. Simply put, you just take it and you pull it. Pull your bolt out first because it has this little gas piston here that is actually rides along this part of the charging handle. Then you take your charging handle, get to position, set it down, and out. Boom. Charging handle is now. And that's your basic field stripping of the gun. If you actually want to go a little bit more in depth, to take the buffer tube out, you can either unscrew this whole thing, right? Take this whole thing off, right? Or you'll see, I think you can kind of see it right there. That little piece right there, that actually stops the buffer tube from shooting out. So if you actually take a bullet, screwdriver, right, push down into that, pops right out. And just finesse your way into success. But yeah, that's pretty much how it works. Pretty simple. And there's your buffer tube spring and everything. Yeah, the actual buffer tube is still there. You can take it off, however. Most of the time, it's better just to do it that way. Because the actual buffer tube is held on by this piece right here. And this gets screwed on really tight, so trying to unscrew it is a pain in the fucking ass. And my brother, when he gave us this lower, because this lower actually works really well with this 300 blackout, he painted over, that's why you see 2 different colors. He painted over this part here, so it's got like a layer of paint that you would essentially need to like scrape off to be able to untwist it. So that's the problem with this. But looking at the buffer tube, the actual buffer tube spring, like the recoil spring and everything, it doesn't have any like cracks or anything with it. At least, not that I'm seeing. It still looks perfectly fine. So, I'm wondering if it is a gas key problem, but we'll actually take that apart to see. Should have gotten tighter gloves, you know? Let's see. That looks like possibly a 4 or 5. I think it may be a 4 or 5. Let's try 4 first. Would my Allen wrench set not work with this? I thought it would, however, it will not. So I think we actually may need to go with... I don't think I have anything that can take this handguard off. Shit. That may be problematic. Because I need something that could take this fucking handguard off. So the exometry gloves are still tight on me. I got tiny hands. I got tiny little baby hands. You know? I'm a small person. So, yeah, I can have nothing that can deal with that. That sucks so much ass. So... I guess we won't be taking the handguard off. Because I don't have any tools that can actually... fuck with that. That sucks. Alright, well, but from what I see, right, it doesn't look like the actual piston is, like, screwed up or anything. Let's see if I can flash a light in there, because usually you can actually flash a light in there, and it's a little hard to see, but that little rod right where my thumb is, that part right there is actually the gas key piston, right? And it is hella dirty, I'll tell you that much. I don't know if it's cracked or not. I don't think it is. Because it looks fine. We'll clean it. But the problem is, whenever I was shooting, I got some, like, red tip Hornady defense ammo. And ever since I started shooting that, it just hasn't been cycling. So I think it may be under-gassed. Those rounds, at least. So it's causing problems with the actual gas flow, which may be a cause, because I'm looking at the actual gas key, the gas piston, and it looks fine. It doesn't look cracked or anything. It's dirty, yes, but I don't see any actual, like, issue with it, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the ammo. Anywho, let's actually start cleaning it. Luckily for us, we got our handy dandy ROM. We love our ROM. It's bendy too. I love rods, dude. Could not put me in a fucking barracks with a bunch of naked dudes, man. Don't quote me on that. Please don't quote me on that at all. But we will now pick one of the thing in there. We're not gonna fully stick our thing through there, because the reason is because fuck yeah, dude. I gotta go to barracks with a bunch of naked dudes. That's what I had to do. Yeah, our rod barely fits, by the way, so. What we will do instead of shoving a piece of cloth down there to get a fucking squib again, we're gonna blast it. My favorite thing to do. I am actually going to move this stuff out of the way so that it does not get blasted. Yeah, so it's actually funny. So I went to the recruiter the other day, and this guy, I mean, yeah, he's doing his typical spout the bullshit, like, hey, you should join this job, you should join this job, right? Doing all that shit. I'm like, I know what fucking jobs I want to go into. I've already done my research. I've been trying to get in for the past 5 years, right? And then this fucking recruiter, I was like, man, I'm gonna be straight with you. Just tell me if you can get me a waiver for my weight or not. And he's like, well, based off the pre-questionnaire that you did with me, right? Like, yeah, you seem pretty well off to be able to get a waiver. So I'm like, oh my god, finally, 5 5 fucking years later, there's a recruiter that's like, yeah, I could get you a waiver for your weight. So, yay. But, of course, he said that, like, I wouldn't be able to be shipped off until January. I'm joining the Air Force. Mainly because my dad was Air Force, my brother is currently Air Force. But, yeah, so I plan on joining the Air Force. And also because, a lot of Air Force jobs, right, like, especially now, have more cyber, which, yes, people dog on the Space Force because, honestly, it's what people consider not really a branch. However, most of the Space Force jobs are just, you know, like cyber, for example. They just do a lot of cyber shit. Just as like, yeah, I should be, like, pretty well off since I already have a degree. I took some forms and shit Thursday at my recruiter's office. Nice. If I remember correctly, did you say you were Irish? Or was I thinking of someone else? I think I remember you said you were Irish. But not I don't remember too much. Yeah, it's been a bit. So I found that. Oh yeah, you were towards the end. I remember. Yes, I'm so sorry. Yeah, what branch are you joining? That'd be cool, no? It should be pretty fucking funny if it's like we end up getting the same damn deployment. Marine Corps? Oh, brother. I will say good luck. If you really want to join the Marines, go for it, right? I'm never gonna try to shoot you down on whatever you want to do. I had a buddy who was in the Marines, and now granted, he wasn't like the wisest guy ever, and you could small arms repair and technician. Ooh, okay, so just know that a job like that is relatively one of those jobs where it's like it's undermanned and overworked. So do go into that type of thought process, but absolutely you could deal well with it, right? Like, you're definitely going to be familiar with this platform, right? Disassembling, fixing it, everything like that. But yeah, typically any type of technician maintenance job usually is one of those jobs where it's like undermanned, overworked. But yeah, absolutely, like, it's better going into that than something like infantry. Because my buddy, who I will not name, there it is, guys, there's the thing. You can add that to the montage of all the times my fucking dogs decide to bark during the stream. I think that's like number 20 now. I lost count at this point. But yeah. So anyways, buddy who shall not be named, we'll call him Jeff, right? And he worked Marines for I think 4 years. I think was his minimum that he signed, and he worked as a machine gunner. I forget what the MOS number is, but he worked as a machine gunner, and he got shipped off to Afghanistan. You know, when they were doing that whole, like, pulling out of Afghanistan situation that, you know, was shit. 0331, thank you. So, he was getting, like, he was on the shit end of that. It was a shit show. And he was like, yeah, absolutely, like, never join Marines again. Like, he would never go back. So, he definitely turned me away from joining Marines. I mean, I never really had plans to join the Marines, but he definitely, like, turned me off from that, especially his experience. But, yeah, no, I think, I don't remember what he does. I remember he was talking about rotating to a different, branch. I think is what he was thinking on doing, but I don't know. I haven't heard from him in like well over 2 years, so fuck knows what he's doing. But yeah, so yeah, no, I absolutely believe that you will do well in the Marines. Hell Week is probably going to be the worst time for you. That's my best advice for that, right? Is don't go in there thinking, oh, I can't do this, right? The mentality that those types of weeks are there for is to thin out the people from who actually wants to be there and who's just doing it for a quick paycheck, right? So if you actually want to get through that shit, then just get through, right? Have the mindset of, I want this, I'm gonna get through it. It'll push you through. It's gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel like shit. But it'll feel better when you just stop thinking, I can't do it, I can't do it. As a popular horse racing game, Ume Musume has taught me, never give up. Reach for the top. Like, because that's the thing I've seen, especially with, I remember my brother-in-law who, went and got his training done actually quite recently with the Special Forces unit. He was like, yeah, not a lot of people pass. A lot of people actually get, kicked out because it's not that they aren't physically fit or anything like that, but they essentially just give up, right? Because they're like, I don't know if I can do it. And then right as you have that I don't know if I can do it mindset, you're out, right? You're fucking out. So, yeah, just go into it with the right mindset. They're going to make fun of you. My best advice for that, right? Just don't give a shit what they think about you. Just do what Tom Cruise did for Rooster and Top Gun Maverick. Don't think, just do. That's it. That's pretty much the best advice for getting through basic. Now, I don't know much about what's after basic for the Marines. I know with Air Force you have tech school where you learn your job and everything like that, but I don't know what you really do for this. I probably have to ask my buddy Jake, but I don't know. Actually funny, you know what I just realized? I realized that I have a lot of friends that they have names that start with the letter J. And I keep making names for the people that I know with the letter J. What's with that? What is with that? So, I don't see any problems with this. That's the thing. I see no problems. I think it may just be a ammo thing, to be honest. That's what I fear it might be. Might be an ammo problem, and I think that might be it. I don't know. After today, I'm definitely in combat training, then I take MOS training. That's a lot of training. I think that's why they say it's like about, what, like 13 weeks or something like that? I know Marine training is I think it's the longest basic training. Because Chair Force is only 7.5 weeks. At least right now it's 7.5 weeks. Theirs keeps changing. Basic at Paris Island is 12 weeks. So that's where basic is. Where is Paris Island? Is that like New Mexico, actually. It's a dirty idea. It's in South Carolina. Oh. The more you know. Cool. Because I know, Air Force training is in San Antonio, Texas. So South Carolina for Marine training. Hopefully you don't go in during the winter. I'll tell you that much. Very edge of SC near the ocean. Yeah, so you are going to be cold. Absolutely 100%. This is gonna sound weird in California, I forgot where. I would imagine it's probably worth good. Oh yeah, you right. I forgot. Us white people could handle the cold pretty well. The ones where I'm like, I kind of wish I was like them, is the fucking Germans. Those Germans, like, they complain when the temperature gets above, like, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. They're like, it's too damn hot. I'm like, man, I wish it was 70 degrees. Like, it is currently fucking 90 outside. It's just genuinely, like, unenjoyable. Let's go ahead and let the rest of this shit. Put a German at Florida, see how fast we... You know, I do have a German friend, so... I think maybe I can invite him to... because I'm in Alabama, right? So I'm already near Florida, so I could just invite him down here, take a drive to, Miami or something like that. Probably the Everglades, and then just be like, alright, man. Welcome to Miami, Florida, mid-July. Like, yeah, he'll be dead. He'll 100% be dead from a heat stroke. Like, Florida weather in the summer is brutal. I barely went into Alabama. Was it like southern or northern part of Alabama? Mobile and back to Florida? Yeah. So southern part of Alabama then. I live more up. So it's still hot as balls, don't get me wrong, but it is not like, hey, I have to deal with the beach type of hot as balls, so. Pensacola before you moved to Atlanta? I used to live in Pensacola too. Well, actually, I used to live in a bar, then to Pensacola, and then I moved. But yeah, I used to live Pensacola. I forget what base my dad was deployed at, but I used to live there. Yeah, it's a really nice place. I'm not gonna lie. Let's go for 2016, 2020. Alright, so tell me this. Since you lived in Pensacola, do you... First off, do you like seafood, right? That's the first question I had to ask, but this next question to make sense. Because if you like seafood, you'll most definitely remember this place. Okay, did you ever go to a place called Peg Leg Pete's? Because no, the last time I went there was when I revisited Pensacola back in like, I think it was like 2016, 2017, around that time. I revisited Pensacola. But there was a place I used to go to a lot when I was a kid. It was Peg Leg Pete's. It was like a seafood place. They were right on the beach too. Like they always got like super busy. Never went there. Damn. Stout. That place is so good. They had such good food. It wasn't even that expensive either. But god damn, the fucking wait was like brutal. I think like sometimes I'd end up having to wait like maybe 30 minutes to an hour on a good day. But sometimes it would be like 2 hours or so. But hey, luckily they were right next to the beach, so you know it wasn't too bad. And I dropped the thing. Hold on. My rod fell. Yeah, I absolutely miss Pensacola. And whenever they did Mardi Gras there, if you had to own one rifle for the rest of your life, which rifle would it be? Let me go grab it. I will show you exactly which rifle it is. But I think it's over here. This rifle. This is my favorite rifle to date. The AUG A3. I would much prefer the AUG A1. Yes, I like bullpups, okay? I'm not going to pretend that I don't like bullpups, alright? The AUG is definitely one of my favorite rifles. Yeah. But this one is hands down my favorite rifle. I think this is one I'm gonna keep for the rest of my life. I'm not selling it off or anything because one, it functions so well. I haven't had a single jam with it or anything. The only problem I have with it is that it doesn't have a bolt release. It has a secondary mag release, but that's because obviously empty magazine. But it takes Stanag mags, which has that little cutout right there, so that it can actually like feed into it, right? Which you still have the little paddle, like that little paddle right there to remove it, but now you have this piece as well. That button also removes the magazine, but yeah. I plan on getting a new chassis for this, so an AUG A1 chassis, so I can use the waffle mags with it. But yeah, so this is definitely a really nice rifle. Also, plan on changing the function. Yeah, you could thank NATO for that one, because fucking NATO thought in their infinite wisdom, like, hey, let's make a chassis for the AUG that has a magazine release, right, on the side, that you can use for Stanag mags. And so they're like, okay, so then they made one that was compatible with that. But now you don't have a bolt release, so whenever the bolt gets locked up, right, you basically just have to take your charging handle, right, and just, you know, recycle it. Which, it can be annoying, especially if, like, your bolt is locked open, right? Because, you know, it still has bolt lock open on an empty magazine. However, since it's a like, the charging handle is not integral to the actual bolt, right? You can see that the actual charging handle, whenever I actually pull on it, let me try my best here. Whenever I pull, right, it's flimsy. So you basically have to get it from that lock position to the unlock position. Take it, pull it slightly, and then it releases. Yeah, you can still do the hold open like that. And if you want, you can do the HK slap. However, my red dot's kind of in the way. So if I do an HK slap, it needs to be like that. So I can't really slap it. Instead, I'll just take my thumb and just push it down. Really nice firearm. This is definitely my favorite. Sadly, the only military services that still use this thing, I think, are Austria. And I don't have any plans to move to Austria for a time. But, yeah, so let's put this thing back together. AUG and a Glock. Actually, I'm so glad you said that, because I also do have a Glock. Let me go grab it. Alright, so, here's my Glock. Yep. Well, I'm gonna be honest, the Glock, hands down, one of my favorite pistols ever. This thing is like so smooth, it's so customizable, right? You have different platforms, so you can either have the 48, which obviously for the 48, right? You still get a magazine that can, hold 15 rounds. Obviously this one's empty, but you can still get pretty good magazine size for this pistol. Easily customizable, and it's just a good pistol. It's a reliable pistol. Easy to take apart, even when you're fucking around with the side, right? It doesn't have like any wiggle. Well, I mean, it's got some wiggle because obviously any gun has wiggle, but it's also relatively flush. So even if you like start depressing the trigger and you're like doing this with it, it won't go off because it's not a SIG. It's not a P320. But yeah, so definitely like Glock, one of my favorite pistols. I don't know why they didn't ever adopt the Glock or the updated version of the M9 Beretta, the M9A4, because honestly, those two pistols, you can even ask, like, if once you go in, right, ask some of the older guys, like, hey, did you ever have to use the M9 Beretta or anything like that, right? Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, it was awesome. The P320, I was gonna say the best part, doesn't have the 320 bang mode. Yeah. It doesn't have SIG's iconic saying of, well, self-inflicted gunshot. But yeah, God man, I love dogging on SIG now. Cause SIG, they brought it on themselves, right? I definitely would have been the type to be like, okay, like, maybe some people are over-exaggerating the truth, but once you're constantly, like, denying anything instead of, like, actually properly investigating, yeah, Air Force, all they needed to do was have one person die to it, like, an airman die to it, and then they're like, fuck that. We are not having this pistol anymore. I can't blame them either. Because, yeah, here's the thing. Me as a streamer, right? I am not the type to shill over a certain company or anything like that, being like, oh yeah, like, they can't do no wrong, that type of bullshit, right? It's the same thing with when I talk about Battlefield 6 or anything like that. Everyone thinks I'm, like, fucking paid off by Battlefield or whatever. Dude, I barely know anyone. I'm barely popular. You think I fucking care? Even if I was popular and I was a dedicated Battlefield streamer, I would still talk about its problems. But, yeah, I mean, the SIG pistols, right, they can be relatively decent shooting weapons. However, they can also be really fucking annoying to deal with. Like the P365, for example, right? I don't have that anymore, but pretty much that pistol was trigger retention pin, right? Which, by the way, was like right here on the pistol. Imagine, right? The trigger retention pin is right there. And it was non-captive, right? So when you pulled that pin out, right? It could just slide all the way out of the frame. So if you're shooting, right? Because it's not tight in there or anything. It's actually kind of loose. So you could be shooting your gun, right? Bang, 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 bang. And then all of a sudden, that little pin just swoop, slides right out. So then, I'll try my best to demonstrate it with this AR, right? But imagine this, right? Your trigger retention pin is supposed to keep your gun relatively flat like this, right? Perfectly aligned. Once you lose that trigger retention pin, your gun goes from this, it's gonna be hard to like demonstrate, but from this to that, right? It's a little bit hard to see, but you see how it's no longer perfectly aligned? It has a slight dip? Well, yeah, that happens, and don't forget, the barrel, right, is essentially like all the way back here. So your barrel, when you're holding it, like so, right? When you're holding it, like so, by the way, still an empty pistol, you're holding it like so, your barrel's supposed to be pointing at, you know, where you're aiming. Well now, imagine that you're holding it straight, and you're like man, I kind of have to hold it at a weird upward angle, which makes your wrist feel weird, just to get a good sight picture. Yeah, it's because your fucking barrel is like swooped down slightly forward. That happened to me twice, by the way. And I had to pay $25 each for that tiny little fucking pin. So I had to spend $50 for that goddamn pin. It was super annoying. And ever since then, I've been like, I just fucking hate SIG. And then after the whole... And this was before the 320 debacle, right? Of, like, oh, hey. Like, we have a new service pistol, and it fucking tends to kill its own user more than it killing other people. And I'm gonna say something controversial, right? I don't fucking care if DJ Shipley is twice my size, served previous military service or whatever. Dude, don't just instantly be like, oh hey, like, I want to see fucking proof, right? Like, having a hard-on for SIG or whatever, like, they're the best pistol company. They really are. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I used to think SIG was a really good pistol company until my brother actually let me shoot his M9 Beretta. I was like, dude, this fucking thing's awesome. Like, why do we ever unadopt it? It feels so smooth. It has such good recoil. Yeah, it's a little bit of a heavier pistol, but the recoil impulse on it is so good. Runs like a $2,300 320 go up by itself. Maybe he should do the test. Maybe he should do the little, wiggle test to see if it goes off. That would be pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, if it went off when he did that shit, that would be pretty funny. That probably changed his mind about the damn thing, too. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so... here's another thing, too. When I go in, yeah, you're not gonna see me for, like, 8 weeks or so. Springfield Prodigy. That's actually a pretty decent pistol. My buddy Zach, who I go climbing with, actually does own a Springfield Prodigy as his EDC. And yeah, he recommends it. He's like, it's a pretty lightweight pistol, it doesn't have any problems, like jamming or anything like that. I mean, the only time it's ever jammed was when he limp wristed it, but obviously don't, like, limp wrist your fucking pistol, but yeah, no, that is a good choice. Springfield pistols are surprisingly good, I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of people dog on Springfield for the most part, but... no, so when you're shoving your recoil spring back in, you gotta like fucking... finger fuck that thing, right? There it goes. 4.25 comp and Coyote Brown. Ooh, that's gonna be a beaut. 100%. I love Coyote Brown. Coyote Brown is like one of my favorite color patterns on a firearm. I don't know why. It just is. AFKing today? That's fine. Even absolutely AFK. Just remember, these are mainly so I can chat with you guys and for you to relax. You never need to interact if you don't want to. When I'm a broke college kid, take a gunsmithing courses, I'm gonna get an endpoint hacker for it. So let me tell you this right now. You won't even need to take gunsmithing classes with the MOS you're going into, because essentially your version of the tech school will just teach you all that for you. So, but you won't even need to take a gunsmithing class for it. I think with the Springfield, I know a lot of Springfields and Glocks have the same thing where they'll have a like cutout for a red dot. They usually just have a cover on it, and it's held in by screws that look kind of similar to this, right? These two little things. So pretty much you could just like unscrew it, put your red dot in, screw it in, boom, it's ready to go. I mean, this thing I barely had it sighted in. Like, it was pretty dead accurate when I first put it on. I think the only thing I really had to adjust was the right angle And that's because, fun fact, I am actually right-hand dominant, but left eye dominant. Gunsmith, of course, I'm taking notes to teach me how to create holsters, and that would help me because my holster around holster is this one good. That is respectful. I forgot that they actually teach you how to make holsters. It's been a while since I've done my gunsmithing class. Because I did one when I was, I think like 19 or something like that. Because I remember there was a college campus near me that was doing like free gunsmithing classes, so I went to go take one. That's how I did a little bit of gunsmithing on the side, but yeah, also for your AR-15, here's how to put it back together without them yelling at you for not knowing how to put it back together. Obviously, buffer tube, just push it in, right? Pretty easy. Charging handle first. And if you take it, right, there's this little spot right about, let me see if I can flash a light on it. Small light. So you see that little spot right there? You see how it's like, pretty much right here. There's like a circular spot in there. When you go to put your charging handle back in, it's actually got these two little cutout grooves that extend, right? So as you're putting it in, just kind of like push it right about here and just keep pushing it downwards until it like goes into place. Once it goes into place, put it about halfway or so. Take your bolt, make sure that the actual bolt is in the very forward position. So this piece right here should be all the way forward. Just stick that in. Make sure that your gas tube piston here lines up with that little hole in the charging handle. Put it in, and then you just push both of those in. And there you go. And then putting your lower receiver back on. Pretty fucking easy. Push that right into there. And then push your pins back in. Now, obviously, this one is a wee bit funky because I have to take this here and... Do I have... I do. I have my little rubber mallet. Go. Also, whenever you do gunsmithing or anything like maintenance-wise, use a rubber mallet like this, because if you try to hammer something in with a metal mallet or metal hammer, metal on metal is not good. So just remember that now. Especially if you're going to be doing with what the fuck is it called? Like stamped sheet metal weapons. Don't use metal on metal. That's how you fuck up your gun permanently. Let's see. That goes smooth. Arching handle. Full lock up, pretty good. See how smooth that feels. Pretty good. Does my forward assist still work? Let's see. It's hard to like make it so your forward assist can do something, but yeah, forward assist still works. By the way, you want to know the only scenario where you're going to see a forward assist actually help you is if your rifle... Sorry, my rifle's actually well cleaned and everything, so I don't think I could do it. You get your rifle, essentially the bolt won't close all the way, it gets like there. Now if you do like a trigger press or anything, your trigger's going to act dead. But you just take your bolt root, like your forward assist, push it back in place. You'll never fucking use the thing now. There's a reason why most manufacturers don't even bother with the bolt release anymore. But that is it for this one. Let's move on to the next firearm. So this one is going to be slightly similar, but also very different. And I will show you why. So, next firearm is this big hunkin' daddy. The VR-80. This one, obviously, is pretty big. That's because this is a semi-auto shotgun. 12 gauge. Usually they'll tell you maximum shell length, everything, right? But this one is same necessary like takedown process as an AR-15. Take this part here, right? Push that down. Take this other one. This one's kind of stuck, so we're just gonna give it a light little left tap. Show you. There it goes. Oh. Does not want to come out. Man, I don't want to do this. Keep doing this. There it goes. Then take your lower off, and your upper. And you'll notice already something's different with the buffer tube. That is because we don't have that same little notch at the bottom that's stopping it. This has relatively the same operating procedures as a AR-15, like that. But now we get into the big boy part, which that comes with this. So I'll put this to the side really quick while we get this situated. You out of fucking way. Alright. Take this bad boy. Take your barrel shroud. This is not a suppressor or anything. This is actually just a barrel shroud, which is a very important piece, and I will show you why. It's because you take it and you untwist it, right? As you can see, it's literally a shroud. Has no practical purpose whatsoever. Covers your barrel. Does not really dissipate heat or anything. Yeah, it looks cool, but it doesn't really do anything besides that. And then you take it and you remove your handgun. Because essentially what's happening with this thing is that this piece actually locks in right here. So this is actually your handguard retention piece, and it screws in to this notch right here. So that's pretty much what's happened. Now obviously, as you can tell from all the disassembling, cleaning, and everything, that's starting to look a little bit worse for wear. Which is why I don't really recommend that you ever design your firearm to have this type of system. Just have a pin, works just as well. It's a lot simpler. But, yeah, so that's your handguard. Barrel shroud, handguard, okay. And the actual barrel. This is an interesting. So first off, to get your bolt out, you need to take your little charging handle out of the bolt. Like that. Nice. Worry. Oh well. Anyway, so let's actually take the rest of this thing apart. So, I want to clean this. I don't think I want to take this off. I think I just want to clean it as is. Because trying to put this back on there is a huge pain in the ass, so. But yeah. This is essentially a, like, it's a weird recoil impulse system where it'll, like, bang some of the recoil across this piece, right, to go back. I just realized my glove has been cut open. I don't know how the fuck that happened. We are going to change gloves. I do not feel like getting cut or getting my hands super dirty. Yeah, so you have a recoil impulse, right, where it pushes some of that, pushes that back, which pushes this chunk back into that, right? It actually causes bolt, which is connected by this little thing, right? Pushes against that, which pushes it into this position, which then causes the whole cycle thing. which then this gets pushed into the actual buffer tube, which then cycles it back. It's a weird system, but it's pretty cool. Grab a glove. I don't have a glove that fits exactly. One, it's going to be... Oh god, I'm so sorry for this, you guys. But you're gonna have to see a glove that is, one, a different size, so it's actually gonna be even tighter on my hand. And two, it is a different color. So... Oh my gosh. Fucking latex. Ah! My god damn! Ah! Fuck! This is... Maybe I should just do it like this. I should just... So, he got like fucking salad fingers. Then here's your fire. And here, you just... God damn it, dude. Fucking hell. On! Help! Help! Somebody call help! Find a nice ornament PS3 somewhere online? They're pretty hard to find, to be honest. Not gonna lie. Knight's Ornament anything is usually kind of hard to find. Yeah. Even when I was with my brother in Arizona, we went to a gun shop. They had one fucking gun that had, like, Knight's Ornament customization and everything. That fucking thing, I shit you not, was... If I remember the price correctly, it was close to $3,000. I was like, did I really need a fucking gun to cost that much? Like, come on. It doesn't have a full auto trigger or anything. Okay, this is not working. This is not going to work, so... Alright, well, looks like I only have the one glove to work with, so yay. That's really fucking swell. When in doubt, just go barehanded, you know? So. Was for another 4 years, and then sometime I decided to get my dream rifle. Yeah, they usually give you a retirement plan. It's kind of like a 401k, but better. Start putting money into that and just let it sit there. You'll basically just gain like a shit ton of passive income. But yeah, you wanna know what I'm gonna use my fucking money in the military for? A new VTuber model. That's what I'm gonna use it for. Hopefully the job that I'm going into will be fine with what I do, because if they aren't, then that'll really affect my bottom line. I mean, whenever I have to go in for security clearance or anything like that, they're gonna be like, so we were able to research you fucking easily, because, you know, kind of make your life public. I'm like, yeah, oh well. It is what it is, you know? I am definitely gonna have to clean my fucking hands. Alright. Spillage! That's what it looks like when I make a girl cream. I'm not really a girl cream, let's be honest. As sad as it is to say, it's true. Yeah, so this part especially needs cleaning. This military part, so let's get to it. Let's start doing that. Well, actually, as a matter of fact, what is your dream rifle build? Think about it now. Is it like AR-15 platform? Is it HK platform? Like AK platform? What would you say is your dream rifle build? Yes, you 410. Because I will tell you my dream rifle build. It's actually an AK-105. AS3 is basically an SRS 15 with the repairs. Oh, it's different. Oh, cool. A part. Oh, alright. Is it gonna look like one of those Tarkov builds? I'm talking about like the cool Tarkov builds, not those fucking weird ass Tarkov builds. Missed a final line. It is one of those guns that, like, if you could theoretically make it yourself, it is going to be hard, but you can make it yourself. And just remember, yes, you can easily get a tax stamp for anything SBR or anything like that, so just remember that. So this one might need the brush. So let's get the brush out. There goes my screwdriver. Didn't need that anyways. Yeah, look at that, dude. Alright, so in case you don't know what you're seeing, so you see how this, like, these grooves here are black? Let me see if I can hold it up. See how those grooves in there are, like, black? That's all the shit powder and everything, so that is what we are cleaning out. Yeah, I would say definitely the dream rifle, like, probably my next build rifle that I want to get is probably an AK-105, I'd say. I think that would want to be my next rifle build, or an AK-102, too. DA ship way earlier because the KS3 was basically pressure switch for my flashlight instead of the aim point. T2, I'm gonna have a SIG Romeo for XT. That's a good optic choice. As you saw with my AUG, I have the SIG Romeo 5. They are good optics. I will give them that. They are good optics. But, yeah. But, someone calling me? Why is she calling me? Hold on. That was weird. Interesting. Let me send this really quick. There you go. I got a call basically being like, yeah, hey, don't forget to send that list. I was like, oh, okay. God, I forgot. But... So, here's the thing I will say, right? When it comes to guys in the military, right? I respect pretty much anyone that goes into the military, except for the people that go in, and then, let's say you're a guy that goes into the Navy, right? And I was on the true battery instead of button batteries, so I basically want to change it. Yeah, I do like that. Which I find funny because the button batteries, you can actually get those batteries at like a fucking pet store. It's hilarious. But yeah, like I was saying, let's say you like go to join the Navy or something, right? And then you get through basic, right? And you're going into your tech school for the job, right? And then you just get a bad knee, and then you're like, well, guess I'm gonna get medically discharged, right? You go and purposely get medically discharged because of a bad knee, right? And then you get all these medical benefits and everything. And then you just claim you're a veteran when you didn't even get out of fucking basic. Like, well, I mean, you even get to really go do your job, right? And you fucking sit there and you act like, oh, I'm a veteran and everything like that. Like, I deserve all this, right? Shut the fuck up, okay? Those people don't have respect for. Because, like, you go through the Marines, you do your first 4 years, and you get medically discharged, right? Hey, at least you push through it, right? You push through the shit to get as far as you could, but then you couldn't. But it's like, you basically just fucking that shit and you take advantage of all the benefits, while there's guys who are active duty right now with bad knees, and you basically just, like, make fun of them, essentially. It's insulting. It really is. Like, don't be that guy. But, like, guys that actually go in and do their service right, I'm fine with them. I like them. I appreciate them. One thing that also kind of bothers me is military influencers, right? Here's the thing, right? If your whole brand is essentially centered around, you know, military or anything like that, cool, right? Let it be that way. Because there's a guy on YouTube, I remember watching, 19 years in the army, broke his foot on base, so his commander was trying to drag out his discharge paperwork so he could get 20 years. That's Chad behavior right there, dude. He's like, shit, dude, I'll push through that extra fucking year so I get that 20 years. Yeah, because it's basically, like, once you hit that 20 years mark, you get, like, a check every month from the military. It's essentially your retirement check. And it only goes up. It never goes down. So, it's one of those things where, because my dad actually, has that, and he's like, yeah, it's fucking totally worth it, dude. Like, even if you only go in for 4, like, you still get some retirement bonuses and everything, but it's like, if you have a decent job or anything like that, just stick with the full 20 or something, right? Just go in for as long as you can. God damn, look how dirty that fucking thing is. But yeah, no, shout out to your dad, man. Respects to him. I still want to get out. Just have fun making holsters. Yeah. Hey, and also, if you're going in to make holsters, try to register for an FFL 7 if you can as well. And the reason I say that is because if you get an FFL 7, you can actually, since you have a business, like a holster business per se, right? You can make firearms. And if you make a firearm that so happens to be one with a full auto switch, well, it's the company's, so you can actually make full auto firearms with a FFL 7. Now, of course, you still have to go through the paperwork with ATF and everything. However, you absolutely can. And it is legal. It's absolutely legal to do that. But again, that full auto firearm has to basically stay as the company's. Can't be your own personal one. So, just remember that. Yep. But please, please, if you're going to make holsters, please make really good holsters, like, because I've definitely seen it where a lot of different companies will make holsters and they just won't do a good job. So then there's really only, well, it sounds like I do all stuff and make bombs. That is a true fact. You could do that if holster business. He had a plan. He had a goddamn plan. Arthur! We're gonna get some money, go to the Tahiti, get us a fucking holster business. That's what's gonna happen. That would actually be pretty fucking funny if your main headquarters for your holster business was all the way in fucking Tahiti. Then you could just be like, yeah, my surname is Dutch. Whether what did you want? Posters and also IWB poster imaginable. Good. Because I want there to be a different holster company that is just as good, if not better, than T-Rex Arms. Yes. I like T-Rex Arms and all, but goddamn, man. I don't want a different holster than a T-Rex Arms. This. That car, yeah. That I agree with. You know what I miss? I miss the days where you could like the old West days where you could just have a fucking gun like right in front of your hip, right? Yeah, I mean, it would technically be open carry, but you know what? Maybe nowadays we just need some of those rules again. Maybe that's what we're missing. Some of the good old days, you know? That is interesting. We got some rust developing in there. Let's see if we can. Leaky boy. Can we unscrew this? Probably not. Wow. This is. Finger fuck it. Not too worried about the buffer tube, however, I still want to investigate it just in case. Where's my little ramrod? I'm actually gonna get my own. Get that little combination there. And a bit of that off. Yep. All right. That out. It's good again. I hate how dirty my hand's already getting. It looks so bad. Mamma mia, pizzeria, baby, got the diarrhea. I don't remember that fucking shit back in the day of, Moonbase Alpha, everything, when people would just fuck around and, like, use the, text-to-speech to make, like, some of the funniest fucking songs ever. I miss those days. Also, one thing I found kind of fucking funny was the, God, that's so slick now. I don't think I could get a good grip on it to twist it out. Hold on. Alright. So we're able to just twist the whole thing. That's good. Oh. Going to... I have to be careful with this part. Because this part... That can happen. Shit, that was what I was hoping would not happen. However, that is exactly what happened. Same way I could get out basic. Good idea. I don't know if they had the same type of problem with the Air Force as they do with Marines. Probably not. Probably, I don't know. I know with the Air Force they have it like you go through basic and then when you pretty much get shipped out to your new station and then you have to go through tech school to learn your job. But usually they have it where it's like a policy of you have to spend like the first week or so on base. It also depends how long your fucking tech school is, but you basically spend the first week or so just stuck on base, and then after that, you actually get to leave base and everything. So I don't know if it's the same in the Marines. I would be surprised if it was, but who knows? Alright. So now we can actually clean our recoil spring. And it's got a few black spots, but that's gonna be fine. Also, with on-base housing as well, just remember that if you are gonna have any firearms on base, they always need to be like, so as long as we meet the criteria for Georgia, all I need is my DB 214 say that I can quit a basic act by a handgun at 18. Ooh, that's good. I guess it is different. But at the same time, don't forget military housing usually has it where if you are going to own any type of firearm, make sure it is always unloaded, stored away in your house. Magazines can't be loaded inside your house, so on and so forth. They have a bunch of fucking rules for on-base housing with firearms, so... But absolutely you can own a firearm if you do live in military housing, so... I don't know how the rules will apply when dorms or whatnot, but I do not remember all that, so... do not ask me for all of that information. Now I know some of the basics. But it's definitely nice that someone actually has a plan for what they want to fucking do, rather than, you know, just wing it, essentially. Because I have... Sometimes the Clair Obscur soundtrack is just weird, man. That's the soundtrack, by the way, in case you're wondering. This entire soundtrack is just from Quite Obscure. I hope that game wins Game of the Year, honestly. Off the keyboard is getting a little dirty. A dirty boy. Probably use it. Yeah, I could use a basic. I guess. But yeah, you know what? Totally off topic change. Battlefield 6. I'm going to be honest. I like the game. I've been having fun with it. And what it boils down to is that I just choose to have fun with it, right? Like, I'm not too worried about being, like, competitively viable, like, being the best or anything like that. I don't care enough for that anymore. I'm, like, jaded. I'm, like, you know, getting to that age. I'm getting to that old-ass bird age where I just don't care about being competitive anymore. I just don't. So... But honestly, I have been enjoying it. I do like Battlefield 6. Now, one thing I don't like is how the game is going to have a battle pass, which I find to be a little bit stupid in my opinion, but at the same time, it's one of those things where if you're like, oh cool, I gotta have a battle pass, right? That's great, however, like, a lot of the people, especially nowadays, a lot of people don't realize that most gamers who are like in their 20s to 30s, whatnot, anyone above the age of like 20, right? They actually have jobs, right? So they can't invest all this fucking time into a battle pass. So like most of the time, they don't even complete it. And so like, it's stupid. I find it to be stupid to include battle passes. Honestly, I kind of miss the days where, you know, you would just get $30, 20 sometimes, right? And you would essentially just go and buy a DLC, right? Those days were awesome. I miss those days when you would just buy a DLC map pack and then you owned it, right? So you could just fucking play it whenever. Like, I don't know why we have to keep having shit like battle passes and everything. It's stupid. But, like, I have been enjoying Battlefield 6. If you see any fucking streamer or anything that's playing Battlefield say shit like, where's the grind? Where's so-and-so? Where's a ranked mode? Shut your fucking goal, okay? Like, we do not need that shit. I am fine with just casual gaming, right? Having fun. Because really, that's all I fucking want. I want a more casual experience. That's what I play games for, is to have fun. I'm not playing games to, like, be super duper rich, to have a career out of it. As much as I would like to have a fucking career out of playing games, I can't do that. That's just not in my hobbies, per se. Oops. Sorry. That's like a process to get that whole fucking stock back on. Hopefully, I screwed it on right, because sometimes you can actually screw this upside down. Like I have done yet again! I fucking hate this shit, dude. How does this keep happening? I managed to always consistently screw this fucking thing upside down. It is actually super fucking annoying. Like, I hate it so much. Just do this. What's that? Yeah, now it's just going sideways. That's fucking swell. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my life, right? At the screw in the stack. This is why people don't like screwing in the fucking buffer tube and everything. Like doing all this shit, because it's super fucking annoying to have to do this. It's shit. It fucking sucks. Watch it be upside down again. Place your bets. How much do you bet it's going to be upside down? That's a great question. Let's see. No, it's to the side. Upside down and to the side. Okay. Let's try this again. There it goes. What happens if we start screwing it from this side? No, don't stop. Do that. Fucking cock-sucking little cunt bag, stupid piece of shit. Fucking. Now start screwing it again. I actually hate with this buffer tube on the shotgun. It's a big pain in my fucking ass. And it's upside down. Alright, that's awesome. I am getting so fucking sick and tired of this shit. It's not even... There it goes. Has a bit of just there, come on. You know what I just forgot? I had to take the whole damn thing off again because I forgot to put in the goddamn steel retention thing. I'm gonna fucking cry. I'm like 5 minutes from fucking crying, dude. I'm like so sad right now. I'm fat. My stream looks like shit. Oh, come on. Oh, don't be like that. Just take it. Take it. Take it, please. Okay. Nope. Nope. Stop. Stop it. Move it up first. I did whip it up, didn't I? Oh no, please tell me I whipped it up first. If I didn't whip it up, I'm gonna cry. No, it needs to be right there. It needs to be tightened. Right there. I need the baby oil. Yeah. It needs the baby oil. By the power invested in Diddy, give me strength. Okay. Okay, that's good. Please don't ever quote me on that Diddy thing. Switch for this. Alright. Now we can put everything else together. So I should take a quick little run. get some nuts. Get shit off the side. Alright. Let's put everything together. Thank fucking goodness. Oh, there it is. I was like, what happened to my fucking handguard and everything? Alright, putting this back together is relatively simple. We got the hard part out of the way. Oh, oh. Take our handguard, just slide it on Diddy style. You know what I am gonna do? Before we put it in fully, let's go ahead. Oh, yeah, just whip that red up. Yeah, you can never have enough lube, you know? Just ask Diddy. Never have enough lube. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Look at it all looped up now. Jeffrey Epstein will love this. Alright, I'm gonna take that, slide the handguard all the way up. Yes. And we need our barrel shroud wherever the fuck I put it. Am I blind? Just had it here. Where the fuck did it go? Where did it go? Oh, it's right behind my fucking bottle. I am losing my mind. You guys get to see in real time a grown-ass man lose his fucking mind. Alright. So now, we can stick our barrel shroud so great. Slide it into place. Slide it so you hear that. Yeah, that little earthy, like... You know, all the fucking things just shredding away. Those rivets, gone. Then put it back together. By the way, look how fucking big that... Look how big that goddamn hammer is. That's in the safe, like, that's in the ready position. When you actually pull it, like, it has to travel that far. Yeah, it's crazy how big that fucking hammer is. Let's just lube up our trigger assembly too. Why not? You know. Be a good boy. Good boy. Lube up our trigger assembly. Yeah, just install that. Lube up that little buffer tube part right there too. I won't do anything, but you know what? Let's just go ahead and lube it anyways. Never hurts to lube anything up, you know? Lube is good for everything. That is a matter of fact. And if you disagree, you are just factually incorrect. Oh my god, my... Okay, let's put back in. It'd probably help if the pin was fucking out. Alright, let me just slide that bitch down in there. Done. Oh, God. Woo! My VR80 is done. Now, just gotta put our little pin back in. That's it. On the bottom or the top? It's on the bottom. Yep. So, you actually want to see how this thing operates. It's actually quite interesting. But, essentially, it is pretty rigged up. So actually, you know what? We'll take this apart a little bit, and I'll show you a little bit how it works. Now that the main guts are compiled on, I can actually take this apart and show you what it did with the handguard off. So, Anywho, alright, so, barrels off, right? So, we have this part right here, which then, that will push this thing back, right? Which actually may be hard to do with, yeah. It's a little bit hard to do with the bolt in, but essentially this gets pushed back with that. As you can see, when it's pushed all the way back, right? Bolt goes into that position, which then completes its full travel cycle after it pushes that. It goes all the way back. The buffer tube will then take it back, which kicks this back into place, ready to do the process all over again. Because obviously, as that goes back, even if it's like, even if it's like that, right? And that goes back, yeah, it'll stay there until that shoots back forward, and then pushes that with it. That's essentially how the gun operates. That's why it needs certain loads in it. So whenever I have to buy ammo for this thing or anything like that, I always need to get out my finger. I need to buy certain loads, like turkey loads, buckshot, anything like that. It needs to be a certain FPS so that it can actually cycle properly. Since it is not directly gas operated, but more recoil operated, it's a weird system. Weird system, but a cool system. But I will say, one downside about this thing is that, I mean, granted, your magazines are only 5 rounds, but trust me, after you shoot 5 rounds out of this thing, you kind of don't want to shoot it again. It's not a very pleasant gun to shoot. It's one that you shoot it a little, and then you're like, okay, I had fun. That's about it. But yeah, BR80, that's all good now. So, we'll do a little bit of a detail wipe on the outside. Just kind of clean up those imperfections that leak out. Make sure everything's good. Back in. And yes, this is an ambidextrous safety. I do like it when things are ambidextrous. Do I ever take advantage of the stuff that's ambidextrous? Hell no. I never take advantage of it, but hey, it's cool that it exists. Back in fire. Goes. Alright. An interview? Ooh. Is that like an interview for like a job or for like something with the recruiter? Like, what is it? Tell me more. I'm curious. Oh, cool. Tell me more. Love to learn more about it if you're fine, sure. If you don't want to share, that's fine too. Aside, let's see if I remember how to operate this thing. So this is an old Model 77 from Winchester. This is essentially a blanket. Because I'm broke. Give me both. So, obviously, magazine is empty. This is a cool little fire. So let me show you a bit about its operating procedures. Obviously, empty. But it is a little 22. It's actually a pretty cool little rifle. This is what the magazine looks like. So you notice it has this cut right in there. It's got this like groove cut, and then it goes back into that. It's got this spring, which you can actually operate with your thumb to help with the magazine. It is a single stack 22 mag, but oh well. It's a fun little blanker. Got it from my granddad before he passed, but Um, Magazine, pretty easy. You just kind of put it in at an angle. And you'll see this piece actually pushes in. You'll notice as I push it in, you see that piece that kind of pushes in, and then it pushes. That's actually your mag releases right there. So pretty much what's happening is that that little cutout in the magazine is actually catching this little piece right along in here, right here pretty much. And so you just kind of insert your magazine like that. It does not have a bolt hold open either. So, and then this is your charging handle, which I think it does reciprocate with the bolt as well. Like, it just operates a bolt like that. You can actually, it's so light you can do it with your thumb. It's super fucking light. This is your fire selector. This one's in the safe. That's fire. You can see just how flimsy it is. It used to be a lot better, however, this thing is really old, so yeah. But let's actually try to take it apart. First things first, we have our screwdriver. Oh goodness, what did my brother do to this thing? I'm gonna get a bigger screwdriver so I'm not totally ripping the fucking threading on that. Why is that not being unscrewed? Let's see, to grab the hand first. So pretty much dropped and everything. Let's see. I promise that it is. I don't know if I want to fuck around with this per se. Because this is already like an old piece as is, and I'm trying to unscrew these, and I'm noticing that it's like starting to rip the actual threading. Not really the threading, but the little hole in it. And I don't want to risk screwing this up because of that. So I don't think I'll be able to take this one apart today. I can still give it a basic cleaning, but I can't give it a detailed cleaning. I just don't feel like fucking this up, but yeah. That's kind of sad. I'll still try my best to kind of show you like what exactly is happening with this firearm. That way, you know, you have a general idea. Fire selector here, right? Obviously, it's operating whether it's in the safe position or not. So, you have your charging handle here. As you can see, when the hammer's dropped, that's actually pretty hard to charge back. But once that hammer is back in the reset position, which you can actually hear it to gain into that reset position, which is right here. That's where the hammer is getting reset, is right here, within the internals, right? So, you have, it's a little bit hard to see, but the magazine will actually have it to where your rounds will essentially, let's see if I can point it more towards the camera for this, but that's what the inside looks like as you are cycling your bullet. So your bullets will just kind of be fed right in there. And essentially, I'll use the headlamp to show this off. Let's see, so. Alright. In there. You'll notice that spring. That very long spring. That is essentially your recoil spring. So that's what causes it to cycle, obviously. So it is connected to the bolt, so you can't C-clamp it like this, because I'm pretty sure if you C-clamp it, you're going to end up having the bolt slam directly into your palm, and you don't want that. It hurts like a bitch. So, but, yeah. It does kind of suck that I can't take it apart, because it's ripping the threads, and I don't feel like fucking it up. So... But yeah, 1410, I wish you the best of luck at your interview. Something to get while you wait for the other stuff, but... cool piece of history. Sadly, I can't show you the internals. But what we will do is, we'll just do some basic blasting down the actual, just to clean out a little bit of that funk. It is a 22, so I can't really stick anything down there either. Give it a swirl. Swirly swirl. And then down. So be sure we get all of it out. Alright. Then I'll go ahead and brush this up. I normally recommend you do this with all this out, because with this type of stuff, we have to be constantly cleaning off that wood. Because we do not want that wood to get fucked up. Anyway, go. So, we're going to use... I don't know. There's no one to pop. So we are going to use microfiber. Just make sure we clean off that wood. Where'd I put my brush? There it goes. Really want to get those pieces of stuff. Does already have some chips in it, because this gun is hella old. This gun is older than me. I am fucking old. Gonna want to find, I only found one. Yeah, so that was how I was when I was trying to look for my P365. When I was looking for holsters for that thing, dude, I couldn't find a single fucking holster anywhere. Like, legit anywhere for that P365. Because I had a TOR7 flashlight on it. And I legit couldn't find a fucking holster anywhere. And then I found one. One fucking holster that actually allowed for me to be able to put my gun with the flashlight on it in a goddamn holster. And it was a very bulky holster too. Like, so with this white PL Pro on it. It's like anyone that designs a fucking holster doesn't expect someone to put like a laser or a flashlight on their goddamn pistol. It's like, bruh, like, I'm going to put a fucking laser or pistol, like pistol light on my goddamn pistol. I do not run that bitch naked. So, yeah, it's just annoying that shit. I'm actually going to put that in. Fuck. To be very delicate with this one. So much harder to navigate. It's not good for camera that I have to do it this way because, like, it's hard to see anything. It's already hard enough for me to see shit, but I can imagine for you guys it's even harder to see fucking anything that's going on. That's fine. No, that's pretty. Get all that gunk out. Magic 4.25 with OIPL Pro and an Optica as some next creations. I think my brother-in-law had a Kaidak Creations holster. I can't remember, but I can't remember which holster he said. It's just kind of like it was meh, right? Like it served good enough as like his duty holster as a cop, but it sounded similar to Kaidak Creations. I may be wrong though. Granted, I don't remember a whole lot about his cop career because he barely told me jack fucking shit, so. In case you're curious why I'm doing this, is you can actually see some of the funk, the, like, black powder shit. Oh, fuck yeah. That, like, black powder shit from the excess powder is, like, coming off in a liquid form, so I basically need to keep scrubbing that off, but now we can actually move it up again. Now, two. Just give a quick rundown, and then we should be good to go on this thing. I wonder if I can get this part off. Let's see if I can. Where did I? This is the plastic piece. I need the actual brush. Where'd I put? I do not remember where I put my brush. Oh, you will need to fucking out. Alright, so is that rust? Where's that? I don't think it's rust. Because it definitely looks like just some wear and tear on the metal from how old it is, but yeah, it doesn't look like rust. Doesn't feel like rust either, so I think this one's pretty good, as is. I don't think we really need to fuck with this anymore. It is kind of a shame that I didn't get to actually take it apart to show you guys the internals, but I did not want to screw up these screws, because I don't know if they're proprietary to this gun, and considering how old this gun is, I am afraid to fuck it up. So, it is a cool little Plinker toy. I do like it, but it's also a piece of history that I don't feel like fucking up too bad, so for now, we're just gonna leave you be. Where is the gun? I guess I could clean. I guess we could clean the AUG a little more. Because I did go out and shoot it a little bit to actually sight in the 0, so it's not like too dirty, but it's still gonna have some funk on it. So yeah. To those that watched last Saturday, you've already seen me clean this, however, I've got it since then, so nah. Do a disassembly of the AUG. And for you, 410, I don't think you were able to see it last time when I did disassemble this, but you will get to see it today. It's a pretty easy disassembly. First things first, I usually do this with an empty magazine because here on the bolt lockup. And also, this isn't in the way, it just free float like that. Came in the 48 when I came in the first time. So you probably saw me doing the AUG then. Oh well. Gotta see me do it again. Because I still got some of the oil from last time too. Well, let's get to it. It's not coming out. Oh, that's why it's not coming out. Hold on. I gotta fix a big problem. The bolt wasn't back in the forward position. Okay, your bolt needs to be back in the forward position before you can fucking... Ah! Fuck! Okay, hold on. Ow, ow, ow. Fuck. Okay, that was stupid. I forget that thing launches forward. Yeah, you can see it's not, like, too dirty. It's actually relatively clean. It's just got some dirt still built up from back in there, so... won't have to do much with this bad boy. Just a simple clean will be good enough. Gas pistons. Yeah, gas pistons dirty. Let's get down to business. To defeat. I can't finish that sentence. Whoa! Did they send me pussies when I asked for dicks? I sent your men in a depth of Brady 11th and the 320 going off in the holster? Yes, I did see that, but I did not research more of the details of it. I do need to research the details of it because I feel like there's something I am definitely missing. Like, how was an airman arrested for a gun going off by itself? Like, it sounds so weird. Like, why the fuck would he be arrested? So that's kind of what I want to look into to figure out, like, what the fuck actually happened. So, brush go. Friday's statement, the Department of the Air Force spokesperson said that the unidentified arrested person is accused of making a false official statement, obstruction of justice, and involuntary manslaughter. So it sounds like what happened was this airman, theoretically, was probably working logistics plans or some type of armorer job, right? Essentially where you have to worry about, you know, shipping weapons off, make sure all that weapon shit gets handled, right? He was working a 320, like, and even after the shit of, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be using this gun, he still, like, shipped it off anyways, or I don't fucking know. This is all guesswork, so I could absolutely be wrong. And then, after all that, he's like, well, whatever, right? Just careless ignorance to check the firearm or anything like that. Then, of course, this airman has the firearm, is using it, goes to put it on his desk, it goes off, it kills him, so then it's like, alright, well, we can't just arrest a gun, so who's next? Well, probably the guy who was careless enough to even allow this gun into the hands of this airman. So, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened. I'm not saying that is what happened, but if that is what happened, then I don't know. It just feels stupid. Because it's like they're doing a lot in their power to avoid just taking the P320 off, right? Because the Department of Defense has essentially invested so much money into this fucking firearm that they just can't let it go. They can't be like, you know what, we fucked up, right? We should probably adopt a new firearm, right? Yeah, the Air Force has essentially banned the pistol from being used. However, at this point, I feel like the Department of Defense should probably try to get their money back. Or at least cancel the contract with SIG. Because the fact that SIG doubles down on their incompetence that caused the person to fucking die, like, it's gross negligence, in my opinion. And it should absolutely be condemned. So, bag of pretzels. But no, I feel like we're putting a lot of the blame on other people rather than the main problem, which is the gun and the gun manufacturer. I feel like they need to shift their focus back to, hey, SIG, your fucking pistol got an airman killed. Your incompetence and your ego has caused an airman to get fucking killed without anyone's involvement, right? Because you're telling me that, let's say that, let's act like a SIG fanboy, for example, right? Like, one of those SIG shills that fucking sucks SIG's cock or whatever, right? They basically have no life besides sucking SIG off. Let's say they think that, oh, well, maybe this airman, like, planned to, like, try to assassinate this, like, staff sergeant or whatever, right? Okay. One, that's fucking stupid. And two, how would that airman know? Just know at all that it would go off at this exact moment, pointed directly at this airman, and kill him, right? Like, no. It's simple enough that it's a shit pistol, it caused this airman to get killed, and SIG just needs to take responsibility. They need to be like, you know what? It's our fault. It's our fault. We designed the pistol. People, both civilian, market, and military, have told us you need to change it, right? And they don't. They wouldn't do that because they're like, it's not the pistol's fault, it's the user's fault. That's what the manual said to you. Here's the thing, like, why they didn't go for a gun like Glock, right? Or just the updated Beretta. Like, would have made more fucking sense. Because those guns are way better in every which way. I don't know of a single police force that has banned the Glock. At all. I don't think there is a single one. Because the Glock is just that good. It's that reliable. So... I don't know. Maybe it's because I actually know good firearms when I use them, but... Also, I got to shoot a SIG Spear. Obviously, only the 308 one, because you can't find the fucking 277 Fury versions anywhere. Look at these pretzels. Okay, cool. And that gun is fucking heavy. Like... the damn thing felt like... it weighed like close to like 20 pounds. And obviously I'm not like a super fit guy, like I'm not super muscular or anything, I'm actually pretty lean, but I got some muscles, right? And that rifle is so fucking heavy. Like, it is ridiculously heavy. Actually, let me show you my other AR-15. Because my other AR-15 that I use for precision shooting, like more hunting or anything like that, is pretty heavy. Here we go. This thing. So, this thing's my other AR-15, right? It's used more for precision shooting, right? And you can see it's a hefty bullet, but it's made to be hefty because I actually put an angled foregrip on it. I plan on putting the original bipod foregrip on it because it's meant for precision shooting. But it's got a heavier handguard and a reinforced barrel, right? You can see the barrel is thicker. It is thicker, right? But even then, like this thing, after I weighed it, fully loaded and everything, this thing only weighs 14 pounds. Like, it's still heavy, don't get me wrong, it's still a heavy rifle. But 14 pounds for this, that's more of a precision shooting hunting rifle. Heavier barrel, heavier foregrip, right? It's a lot sturdier. And it's got a thicker muzzle brake. Like, that's a really good muzzle brake, by the way. If you ever can find a muzzle brake like this, yeah. And just a really good stock. I really love this stock. Nice pistol grip, too. Now, you can see the select fire is hit the shit, right? Obviously. Heavier trigger pull, but overall, really nice rifle. Still a heavy boy, but not as heavy as a SIG Spear. SIG Spears are ridiculously heavy, dude. That's what it's like. I don't know why the fuck they thought, like, a rifle like the SIG Spear is better than the other rifles introduced during the trials. Like, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it could be like, oh, it's the 277 Fury round, right? We need to adopt that type of round. Then just fucking develop the same type of round, but make a lighter gun. Yeah, you're gonna have more, like, belt recoil. However, carrying around, like, a 20-pound gun with a gun, like a magazine that only holds 20 rounds. Like, by the way, what I'm talking about in terms of 20-round magazines, this is a 30, right? So, your magazine would be cut down to, like, there or so, right? So you already have like 10 less rounds than like an AR-15 or something like that, right? And those bullets are kind of heavy because they decided not to do what the RM-277 decided to do, which was to use polymer casings. They still go with the brass casings, right? Actually, I think they have what's called a hybrid casing, where it's like brass and some other type of material, but essentially they don't want to go with the polymer casing for some fucking reason, but yeah, the RM-277, yes, it was a bullpup. However, it had so many cool features to it. I think really the only downsides of that, the HK416, I don't think it's the C anymore. I think they switched to a different one. Because I know that HK released a new type of 416. I forget what the designation is now, but the Germans are actually starting to adopt it. And there's been talks of the Marines adopting it as well, so by the time you go in, you may end up actually using a more up-to-date version of the 416. Who knows? Well, the thing with the 416 compared to like the AR-15, H416, HK416A8, thank you. Yep. Yeah, so you may end up getting to use that one. Really good gun, by the way. I got to shoot one of those things. Dude, they are so smooth. Like, this thing's smooth. I really love my AUG. However, I won't lie, an HK 416 does shoot pretty smooth. And it's mainly because of its roller delayed operating system. It doesn't use, like, a buffer tube as a requirement. It does help to cycle the bolt, but mainly the operation is the like roller delayed system, which is why you can have such a short barrel with an HK416. I'd still have it operate pretty well. Because with AR-15s, especially military AR-15s and everything, you actually do need to have a specific barrel length for the gun to actually be cycling properly all the time due to its operating system. But yeah, so anyways, that's fairly clean. Let's not have that happen. That's fine. Yeah, that is fairly clean. Cool. What was I talking about? Fuck it, I can't remember. The last... I think that's actually it for the cleaning, so now we just need to lube it up. Lube it up again! We actually don't even need to add lube this time. Just need a pretty basic amount. Mainly, we want lube on trigger. Within the trigger. Then, or I'm not gonna take out the butt plate or anything like that because honestly, it really doesn't need that. So. Lube it up. And then some in here. Some in there. And cover these two as well. Sorry, that foregrip is directly in the way. Alright. Do a basic sweep over. I love how they basically just put a nail in here, right? Like, I fucking love that. I love how there's just a nail that's your firing pin. Well, that's basically what the hammer strikes, but... yeah. 416 does have a buffer tube, but it's not reliant on the buffer tube as its main source of operation, which is why it's so smooth. So... oh, bump back. No. Put this back. Yep. Always have to give it a few charges just so you know that the it is its job. Our hog has been fully cleaned. Yay! So. I have to take this glove off for a second. Wow. But yeah, going back to Battlefield 6, right? My message to Battlefield Studios, DICE, whatever the fuck you want to call them, right? Just please, I beg of you this one time, listen to general community consensus, not streamer consensus. Because streamers, I hate to say it, it's gonna sound like I'm dissing myself, but it's true. They are not the main voice of reason. They really shouldn't be the main voice of reason. What they should be is they should be essentially a messenger. So, don't listen to streamers when they say you need a ranked mode, you need this, you need that. Tell them to go eat a bag of dicks. Because if you start doing shit like adding a ranked mode or whatever, you start catering to a certain audience and forgetting about a different audience. But Battlefield 2042, for example, right? That game was a fucking shit show because their dumbasses decide, hey, let's try to make a game for the hero shooter genre, like Call of Duty, like hero shooter. And yeah, I mean, they tried it. Did it work? No. It failed spectacularly. They try to cater to pretty much everyone but the actual original Battlefield community, and it fucking bit them in the ass so hard, dude. I'm glad it did. Because that game was a piece of shit. Don't try to cater to a certain audience when you've already established yourself. Right? It'd be like, have you played Clair Obscure Expedition 33, right? And then you had, I don't know, Clair Expedition 32, for example, right? You had a sequel. And you went from turn-based strategy game to, like, third-person hack and slash. It would not work. It would not work at all. No one would want to fucking play the game. not the people you're trying to cater to now, and the audience you've already established. Just be you. Well, we don't need another Call of Duty. We don't need another Fortnite. I mean, like, eventually you're gonna grow tired of the damn game. You're not gonna fucking play it anymore. That's just how it is. Like, even with Fortnite, for example, right? Yeah, you can watch it for maybe like a couple weeks or so, at the most. But that's all you're gonna watch it for, because is there any cool gameplay stuff in there? Not really. I mean, you get to see guys build like they're having a fucking seizure. But honestly, it's like, it kind of gets annoying, especially as you grow older. It's a fucking eyesore to try to watch someone do like builds in Fortnite because of like all the shit that's like going on so fast. Like, it's an eyesore. I can't tell what's going on. Same thing with Call of Duty, right? People are moving so fast. They're doing all this shit. There's like Beavis and Butthead all of a sudden. Like, there's so much random shit on screen. My brain is just like, what the fuck is going on? And I stop caring. 100%. So, I just want Battlefield 6 to be fun first. That's all I want. I just want a fun video game. Right. Add some more maps. Add server browser to the base game, right? Boom. And also, maybe fix some of the weapons, because the M4 is incredibly overpowered. Have we played the Battlefield 6, by the way? You pretty much see everyone using the M4. Because why wouldn't you? Gun has an insanely good fire rate. Like, it is fast as fuck. And it's got 25 damage per shot. Like, okay. That's a wee bit ridiculous in my opinion. But that's just me. But yeah, I definitely think the gun should be nerfed, but I think that's where I'm gonna end it today. Just because sadly I do have to leave here soon. And thank you again for Team 4 for telling me about all the YouTube, like the multi-streaming stuff, because I need to go back, fix that. Because I do want to continue trying to stream on all platforms that I have. That way, you know, someone wants to watch from YouTube, they can. Someone wants to watch from Twitch, they can, right? So I'm definitely going to spend some time after work today fixing that, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Why it's going back to my old username rather than my current one. I don't know why. But, yeah, I'm gonna try going back, fixing that shit. Thank you to everyone else for tuning in as well. I hope things go well with you all. I guess I can leave you just some piece of advice. Maybe I should just start doing that more. I should just start doing pieces of advice. But my piece of advice for today is Be yourself. I see so many people faking something, trying to be something that they aren't. It's fine if you aren't as cool as fucking Joe from across the street or Iron Mouse on YouTube or some shit like that. It's totally fine if you're not as cool as them. Just be yourself. You don't need to try to be someone you're not. Because when you try to be someone you're not, or you try to appease like all these different people, you end up becoming miserable yourself. So, be yourself, please yourself first. I don't care if you please yourself from masturbation or from staring at a mirror all day. Please yourself first. Worry about yourself sometimes more than other people. That is the thing I struggled with. And I will tell you, life does feel better once you actually fulfill your own needs before trying to fulfill other people's needs. But, as always, there's someone out there that cares for you, whether you realize it or not. Give your friends a call, give your family a call, right? Someone out there will absolutely care for you. So, just remember that. With that, I will see you guys again soon. I'm going to try streaming again on Tuesday. Typically my schedule is going to be looking like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for now until, my job slows down a lot. But yeah, that's going to be the general consensus of the schedule for streaming, so. Expect next time we come back on Tuesday, we're going to be trying to play through some Clear Obscure and other games. But we may also try playing through some Umemusume. I'm actually curious if I can get the game to even show up. How does that look on stream? Let's figure that out before I totally close this out really quick. We're not streaming Umemusume today. We will stream that later. However, I still want to see if we could get the game to fucking work. If I have... Yep, the audio is working. How's the game go? And we'll just have to turn this off. Yep, it is not showing up. That is interesting. Well, that's something I'm gonna have to figure out later. Looks like I got a lot of fixing to do, boys and girls. But anywho. I will catch you guys Tuesday. So, you guys have a good one. Shut up. Alright.